Yo guys, what's up? Back here again today training legs. My favorite day of the week. I'm joking. It's not actually my favorite day at all. I'd say chest or biceps, arms are my favorite, but legs is still good. And we gotta appreciate leg day. And we gotta train legs. Because we don't want toothpick legs, so I'm training these toothpicks here today. Starting with these hamstrings. And I have been actually starting with hamstrings recently. Usually I do them right at the end of the leg day. It would be like one of my last exercises. But as of recently, being like the past few months, maybe even 6 months, I've been doing them as the first exercise. So I've been going like fairly heavy. I've been able to attack them properly and like put as much effort in as I can to building them up. To make them nice and like to get that round look from the side, especially and from the back. So I did also train some calves in this workout as well. I don't always do calves on leg day. Usually I actually train calves like 2 times a week. So I'll do a few different exercises for them. So in this workout, I was actually meant to start with calves, but when I got in the gym, the gym was a bit busy, and of course some machines were taken, so I had to work around that. I probably did about I think I must have done about 5 working sets of hamstrings just to start off the workout, guys. And then I was waiting for the other machines to become available so I could go over to them, getting a crazy burn. And here I move on to calves. So it was hard for me to set up the camera elsewhere. So I just videoed from this angle and you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So you see I have a slight pause. Like I go through the rep and I have a stop halfway and then I squeeze at the peak contraction. So instead of just going up and down in one motion, I'm like pausing a little bit and really focusing on the squeeze at the top there. And I actually got this technique from Jay Cutler. Just a shout out to Jay Cutler there. But this is a really good technique to use, and I really feel that burn when I do this. I'm not going crazy heavy. Again, I'm going heavy enough, but don't lift too heavy. Don't lift too light either, because then you won't get anywhere. Starting off now with these extensions. So of course I always do the leg extension, and there is actually a way of sort of hitting. You can hit the outer quad, the mid quad, and the inner. So like near that teardrop part of the quad. And the real way you do that is just to point your toes in a certain direction. I'm actually trying to more point my toes straight here, but it sort of looks like I'm just pointing to one side, but I'm not. I'm meant to be sort of focusing, just like keeping them straight, but they weren't quite straight in that one. Sometimes, so I'll do a couple of sets of my toes pointing outwards and my toes pointing inwards, just to sort of try to attack like the different angles on the quad. So here I'm like trying to poke my toes out here. So here I'm focusing on more of that like teardrop kind of area, sort of the inner quad. And you cannot put too much stress on your joint here, because this is actually a very unusual exercise for the human body. So you can get serious knee problems. You can pull some joints and things like that in your leg if you go too heavy. So I never go super heavy on the extension. Decent weight. I think I probably went 60 kilos max on that machine. And here I'm moving on to the leg press, plate loaded. So I'm loading these plates on. Didn't go crazy this day. Really just feeling that burn. You can see I bring my legs down to a 90-degree point here at the very bottom. Only about 90 degrees, and then I extend them out. Don't lock out my knees. It's very important. If you lock out your knees, especially if you go heavy, you can end up bending them back the opposite way, like the way they're not meant to go, and that can be like, disaster. So you never lock out. It's pretty dangerous if you do that, especially on the leg press and even on squats as well. I don't usually do squats. I usually stick to leg press, just keeping my feet about shoulder width apart. Of course, foot position is important. I sometimes do single leg, but this day I just did the standard leg press. I was in a bit of a rush this day, so just getting it done. Had about 60 seconds to 45 seconds rest, 45 to 60 seconds rest between each set. And here I must have done about 5 or 6 working sets, but not very long rest time in between. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this leg day. Stay tuned for bulk week 2, and I'll see you in the next one.